Make a Path presents Let's Talk.
Benchwarmer Gaming. Comic book question. If you think the elections are coming with the savers, do you think a character like Daryl would get there just as it's fallen apart and be the new leader alongside of Dwight? In my opinion, I think the Daryl fans are waiting for this Magna being... Wait a minute. In my opinion, I think the Daryl fans are waiting for is Magna being new and all. I don't know what you're saying about Daryl fans. It's not a complete sentence, it doesn't look like. Maybe you just got bored of typing. But let's be realistic here. Skybound owns the Walking Dead comic. AMC owns the TV show universe, meaning it owns the character rights as well. You cannot put Daryl in the Walking Dead You cannot put Daryl, who is owned by AMC, into something that's owned by a completely different company and expect AMC to be like, forget about the money that you're going to make on that comic. Because that'll make a shit ton of money. You know, I would fucking hate it. I wouldn't buy it at all. I am totally against shit like that. I'm sorry, I'm a dick. But when it comes to shit like that, I would skip out, you know. I would rant a little bit and finally go and pick it up somehow, you know. I'm a dick when it comes to that. I don't want TV show characters coming into the comic. You know, you can, bring Clementine in, have her pass through or talk about her, who cares, because that's in the same universe. But it's just silly as shit to bring a TV show character into a comic world, you know. It's okay the other way around, absolutely. But that's just, to me, I'm sorry, I don't want to hurt anyone's feelings, but it's absolutely, utterly ridiculous. It would be just fan service, it would be a cash grab, money grab. I'm totally against it. Legally, though, and I know people's biggest argument to this is, oh, but AMC and Robert Kirkman and everyone, they get along, so why not? That's not really the case, because those are businesses at the end of the day, and they're making money at the end of the day. So if you get something that's going to make a shit ton of money, AMC's not going to just be like, oh, go ahead and use it. That's not how it works, So no, I do not believe we will ever see characters from the show in the comic books. Alex Jamirez pretty much asked if I would ever be doing top 10 lists, moments, episodes, issues, changes, comic show. I have all of those planned. Those are all coming. Listen, guys, I need to do something with my equipment. I'm trying to pick up overtime, which is going to affect how many videos I upload. My equipment now is so weak, it doesn't move the visual when you're in editing. I can hear the sound. Sometimes it'll stop and buffer. My visual is like this. You'll hear the sound, everything will be going, and next thing you know, the guy is moving down here, and it's all good, but you can't see where everything's going because it's glitchy like that. It's like a surveillance at a convenience store. It's real shitty. So I have a hard time editing projects. It takes longer. I've been dealing with it because that's all I got right now. I am looking to upgrade. I do plan on upgrading. I do plan on making changes. This is something I am interested in. Long story short, I got some overtime I'm going to try to work out to get my equipment updated so I can bang out more videos for you guys. And yes, those top 10s and everything that you're talking about, I have all of those planned. They are planned and they will be out. I have some really awesome lists. And another thing that's going to take time with them is I do want to go back through the comic and the show and pick out real moments. And I have some very unique list ideas that people haven't done yet that I thought would be real fun. So, in due time, buddy, that's all I gotta say. And then you asked what I thought about Rosita, why I don't like her. She's just boring, that's all. Mitchell Appleton, who is a bigger coward, Eugene or Father Gabriel? And you asked that for both the comic and the show. In the comic, Father Gabriel's the bigger coward. In the show, Father Gabriel's the biggest coward, I guess, in the moment, because Eugene stepped it up. So, yeah, Father Gabriel for the win. Sean Mortimer, how do you think Judith will affect No Way Out since she will be crying? That's a good question, They might have to change around some of the story. You know what I mean? Keep Judith in the house, upstairs, away from her. They can work around it, definitely, but that is something interesting to add conflict. Imagine, holy shit, imagine a house with a screaming baby, and the walkers are coming, and you have Rick and Michonne and everyone attacking the walkers off for that house to get, broken into and eaten. And I know it would seem like, oh, everyone's just sitting there to protect one baby in a house. Yeah, that's a powerful image, you know what I mean, to protect youth and everything like that. But imagine if you have a wounded Carl being worked on inside that house with the baby, you know, and somebody else is there with the baby. I don't know, but that's a very powerful image that would add to the horrors and the tension of No Way Out. Yeah, I love that idea. So yeah. Randy Rodriguez, do you think they will show flashbacks of Morgan's journey in season 6? Kinda, sorta, and yes, I hope they do. The only flashback I care about is who he ran into that helped him and how did the guy help him. Reese Cliff 99, have you played the Walking Dead game by Telltale? Season 1, not Season 2. If yes, could you do a Let's Play of Season 3? No, because I didn't even do Season 2. And I don't even have the equipment to do Let's Plays. I don't have like capture card or anything like that. And again, that's equipment I will be, you know, getting here soon, so chill. But if no, why not? You know, gaming fan. You not a gaming fan? Question mark. Listen, no, I'm not a gaming fan. I'm not a gamer. I enjoy playing games, you know. To me, that counts as a fan, but nowadays it's something in the gaming community's just it's mutated into something else. I don't know, it's weird. It's like people are fighting for the label as a gamer. It's becoming like cool. Listen, I like video games. I haven't played in 6 months because I've been too busy. But damn, if I had the time off, I would get, you know, a really awesome game and play the shit out of it. When I got Last of Us, man, I put YouTube on hold for a couple weeks and I went to town. Oh, I love that game. So yeah, I love playing video games. I love it. But actually, that's a lie. I just bought Mario Kart for the Wii U 3 weeks ago for my daughter and my niece and nephew and everything. And we played it a few times. I played it with my daughter. Oh, it's awesome. The Wii U is amazing. I love the Wii U. Absolutely amazing. Me and my daughter bond so much over the Wii U, and it reminds me of when I used to play Nintendo when I was a kid with my mother. I mean, it's great. I love the Wii U. Absolutely love it. There's some good stuff on there. And I love that gaming paddle, too. Mark Rashirtar or something. Should they make a Walking Dead game based on the comic book? Yes, they should. And they are. I believe Telltale is based in the comic book universe, and so is Overkill's game. I don't know what it's called yet, but that's taking place in the comic book universe. But yes, I do believe they should make a game that's actually the comic book characters. You know, like you play as Rick Grimes. James Torres, do you think Judith will ever go through a time skip when she gets a bit older all of a sudden? You know, right now they swap babies, so they don't need to do a time skip unless the story calls for it. And thank you for those comments. You're awesome. Thank you very much. Terry Chapman, what do you think about each season of Fear the Walking Dead taking place in a different location with its own storyline? Well, bro, first off, it's going to have its own storyline, absolutely. But if you're talking about, you know, follow characters in California, then in Season 2, follow characters in Idaho, and then in Season 3, follow characters in Pennsylvania, no. I don't want to follow characters, get emotionally attached to them, and then just leave their story. You know, like... it worked for True Detective, but that would not work for Fear the Walking Dead. I want to follow characters and stay with them till they're either dead, or the show's canceled, or they combine with the original show. I don't know. Travis Ward, do you think Fear... Listen, Travis, I know you asked me a couple questions and I told you disabled the reply button on your thing, and you said like, oh no, I fixed it, but it's not fixed. I see you asking a couple questions and I can't answer you, bud. I'm not ignoring you. You have it disabled. I can't. There's no reply button. And guys, listen to me. I actually get that a lot. I get people like, dude, please answer me, man. And you have it disabled to where I can't answer you. So, check your shit. So check your shit, people. Travis Ward, do you think Fear the Walking Dead will affect the original Walking Dead's quality? No. That was one of my fears early on, but from what I hear how they separated it, it should be separate financially as well. Christian Pavlik, why do you think they changed Andrea's character so drastically from comic to show? I don't know why they did. I wish they didn't. Some rumors were out there that it was the showrunner Season 3's fault for doing that. But we did see some shift in Season 2. It felt like some disconnect there, and it was odd. It was with her and Shane stuff. Like, it felt like they were perverting her character and how it should have been translated from the comic, just to kind of make more out of Shane's story, and to, I don't know, it felt odd. It didn't feel right. So it started in season 2. And you know what? I believe that Glenn guy did pick up right where it started, actually, in season 2 in the back half. Huh. You know what? I'd like to get to the bottom of it. I don't want to sit here and condemn this showrunner that I personally don't know, and I really don't know if he actually messed anything up, but there's a lot of rumors out there that would lead to the fact that he did not get along with the actress. He might hate her guts, for all we know, which is a shame. You shouldn't bring your personal shit to a work when it has a fan base that is here to see a make-believe character. That you shouldn't fuck with us like that, man. Whew. But we have Sasha now, and I actually like her anyway. Yeah, she's hot, too. So is Andrea, though. I mean, I'm into blondes, too, so that's a giveaway. Dragon Raider Games. You thanked me for uploading, and then you said you're sick in bed. Well, I hope you're doing well or getting better, at least, or better by now, because it's been a while since you posted this. But you asked if I think Carol would go and kill pretty much everyone in the safe zone if they were like Pete or someone equally as evil, or would she be sneaky and outsource this to someone like Rick? I think it would matter on individual and on the situation. She probably doesn't have any trouble killing them, herself, and she doesn't have any trouble getting others to kill for her. So if they're evil, yeah, Carol would get in that ass. Jack Lewis, do you think it would be cool if they have it snow on the TV show now that the group is locked in one place? Yeah, I absolutely think it would. I think it would be No Way Out. I mean, shit, it's going to be so depressing seeing No Way Out and it doesn't snow. Alex S. Scott. Hey Ronnie, I recently read The Walking Dead Fall of the Governor Part 2, and when it comes to the governor shouting his kill them all, the book actually says destroy them all. Why do you think they did this? Was it an error, or can they think of any reason to change it, such as an infamous line? Well, wait a minute, they changed that? Listen, I would love to sit here and defend all aspects of The Walking Dead, but that's something you do not change. The books take place in the comic universe. They should never have changed that. Oh, thank you very much, honey. I don't know why they changed that. They shouldn't have changed it. If they did it to try to tame the books down a little bit, that's bullshit, man. That's bullshit. I don't know. If you're a book reader and you know why they did that, please let us know. Because to me, I'm calling the bullshit card on that one. They shouldn't have done that. James Hook, you asked what I think the end game will be of The Walking Dead. And, bro, I have no answer for you. In my eyes, it's way too early to be talking about an end game. In my eyes, they can build new civilizations. In my eyes, what they can do with it, there's so much more story that can involve now. Imagine this could be the entry level, and yes, I'm going to use something here because I know a lot of people watch it, but imagine this can be the beginning of a epic, not an epic, but imagine if this could be the beginning of something like Game of Thrones, where they have houses and families and villages and kingdoms and castles, and maybe not castles, but you get what I'm saying. It could be a big world like that. It could be that big and that full. If they gather up all the survivors that they've been finding, they could do something like that. However, they haven't been finding a lot from what it appears, so it's iffy. But if they do hit one or two other big communities, it's possible. And you're talking about all-out wars between the communities and such. I think that would be awesome. Imagine, we haven't seen these yet in The Walking Dead. Imagine having the hilltop taken over by, not even taken over, that's not what I mean. Imagine having a new community, much like the kingdom or the hilltop, but those people put on a fake front like they're good. However, they want to take everything over, they want to rule, they want to do something that's messed up, but they don't come right out and attack people. They do it, kind of politicians, you know what I mean? Kind of, I don't know. There's just so much more. I couldn't possibly think of an end game. Ad01, do you wish Rick was a better fighter? I'm sick of seeing him get the shit beat out of him. I think he does pretty good, I'll be honest, I don't want to see a Rick who is all like, hoo-ah, I'm an ass kicker, because he's not, dude. He was a cop. Yes, he has some training, but he's not a ninja, he's not a warrior, he's not a martial artist, It would be nice for Morgan to teach him some shit, though, I wouldn't mind if Rick got a little more strategic when he was fighting. M. Foster 221. Hey Ronnie, love the channel. Do you think it's possible Morgan met Jesus and that's why he changed his ways? Also, which character do you personally relate to the most? For me, it's Glenn. Thanks, man. You're the best. I personally relate to Rick the most, and it has to do with the father aspect, doing everything you can to protect your child or your family, blah, blah, blah. And I don't just follow anybody. I would not follow anybody. If me and my daughter's lives depended on something, I would be helping call the shots, or at least listening to people who did call the shots, and I'd stand up and say, no, that's bullshit, and that works. So I relate to Rick the most. However, do I think it's possible that he met Jesus? Yeah, anything's possible. I don't think he should, as of right now. What would the purpose be? You know, it does fit that he knows some martial arts, but that is iffy. I grew up studying martial arts. It's not something that you are going to have no training in whatsoever. Run into somebody, and in a couple weeks or a couple months, they're going to teach you how to be Donatello from the Ninja Turtles. That's not how martial arts works. Now, in a couple months, you can learn some shit. You know, you can go from being not so confident to pretty confident, because a lot of people don't know how to fight. If you learn like a straight blast, let's say, straight blast would be the first thing I would tell people to learn. Straight blast and footwork, and be confident. Learn to accept the fact that an attack is coming. I think that's the first thing you should learn, and then straight blast would be the second, because a lot of people fight with the whole, I'm going to do a power punch, Hadouken! You know, people do that shit. Like, oh, I'm going to get him, and they'll do this whole winding up, and while they're doing that, you could just do a quickly straight blast and just catch him right in the face. Just wham, you know? But I don't think they could have trained him that quickly. So I think Morgan should have some backstory we haven't talked about yet, where he was into fighting, he was into martial arts. You get what I'm saying? And it was like he was rusty and this guy brought it out of him. That would be a better story. If it's Jesus, if it's not Jesus, that's fine. But why would it be Jesus? And wouldn't it be a little too coincidental that it was Jesus and now we met him again, you know, in the hilltop? I don't know. The Negan lover. Hey, Ronnie, I remember there being a poll on the Talking Dead about there being mutant walkers. Is something the fans wanted to see from the show. What are your thoughts on that? I think they should never go near mutant walkers. In the world of The Walking Dead, no, because right now we've only seen, you know, walkers, so why would they mutate all of a sudden? Dubaman 420. Do you think Fear the Walking Dead will have a central leader like Rick Grimes, or will the producers try to do something different and new with the Fear the Walking Dead group dynamic? You talked a whole lot about how they're going to do a central leader or a group leadership. To be honest with you, I don't think it even matters, because in the original show we have had the Rictatorship, which was a central leadership, and then we've had in the prison, we've had a democracy, so to speak, or we've had a group of elders, let's say. So we've had a little combination of all types of leadership. So it doesn't matter if Fear the Walking Dead. They should do whatever they want that fits the story at that moment. They should not say, we're going to only have one leader, so let's wrap the story around that fact. Because now you're forcing the story. Now you're putting restrictions on the story, and that's not creative. That's not creative freedom or creative control or whatever. But your other question, what excites you the most about Fear the Walking Dead? For me, it is the beginning of it. And I talked about this in my Fear the Walking Dead video. Because that is the most exciting, complex, difficult, frustrating part to write in my project. It's maddening, you know? Because for me, I'm trying to lock down. Listen, The Walking Dead, that ship sailed. For me, I'm trying to lock down what realistically happens with the nuclear plants. Nuclear. What's the right way to say that word? Nuclear. Those plants, running water, this, that, and the third. I mean, I've watched some different documentaries and I've seen some different things, and I know that it's the hardest part, so that's the most interesting thing I want to see. And done. Stay tuned, there's more coming.
Subscribe now.